Mashallah and Ashe, moving things around on a fantastic Friday, starting a little slow here, but that's okay. But we are also entering the time between time. This is my very favorite time of the year for doing one of my most favorite rituals in preparing on our way to the winter solstice, Yule. If you don't know, Omen days and into the 13 wishes. So, Omen Days and 13 Wishes is literally one of my very favorite rituals to perform at the end of each and every year. But I also believe that it's something that we can do around our born day, our birthday. I believe that's our new year to celebrate our own personal new year. And if you are new to my show, my live show, this is my live weekly show where I do offer Mini-Cowry shell live divinations, a little insight along with the elementals in the Chinese astrology, metaphysics. Sometimes I bring in the planets. It kind of just depends on my mood, celestial bodies and whatnot, along with the subtle fields, our auric fields, our energetic centers, and sometimes even the meridians that are at play. Really just some random musings and insights to take you into the weekend. So if you're new here, my name is Tanya D. I am a seer, a reflector in human design. I do like to sample energies, just reflecting them to the collective. I am also a hermit. So I also appear as one, is kind of what I sense there. So environment is key for me for my health and my vibration. Oftentimes I see things that others don't see, very solution orientated. I do offer intuitive guidance as well. But today I want to give insight into one of my very favorite rituals that I do every year. And this is actually how I grew my Facebook channel. Not even kidding. It was through Omen Days, which I'm going to explain if it's new and you've never done it before. I did create a musing thought, I want to say, a blog on my website, Embracing a New Era, a guide to Omen Days and 13 Wishes. But Omen Days, as you have, time to join in the show and share your comments as well. But Omen Days, it's the energy of out of ordinary time. It's subliminal time. It's a time that we are actually moving into now, a time that we are in. It's time beyond time, but yet maybe out of sync with time, but yet in sync with time. And the veil is beginning to thin. So we are in this subliminal, liminal time right now. It could be festivities, celebrations, gatherings. It marks the rebirthing that occurred in the ancient world or the ancient times. To me, it's like the rise or the returning of our origins in cultures and indigenous spirit technologies that we kind of wavered away from, is what I want to say. But it's during this time of year and supporting the energy of this time, this liminal feeling or the sensations between the past and the present. It's both sides, I want to say, or both seasons. And there are a lot of stories, old stories, I want to even say ballads, around even Christmas Eve night. It's similar to Halloween, where the spirits of the other worlds and the realms are also given leisure to walk the land once more. It's the in-between. For those of us that actually take time to give space to honor not just our ancestors, but spirit in general, spirits of nature and plants and the fae and all the things. So this really, for myself, it just makes perfect sense. And honoring, like, why would they not be able to get in on all the activities and the celebrations and the festivities? So it really is an offering to share a gift or five with the other world, not just your ancestors, but offering to a shrine. There's also kind of this mythic kind of procession, the mysterious, which I love as well. The fairies, the elves, the unseen, just being led. Even Odin comes to mind, the Norse god on his chariot, I want to say. But this is just the most active energies I find from Halloween through Christmas. So it really is a great time to really bring the unseen and perform even divinations looking into the future, and Christmas is actually no exception. Like I said, I feel like we could do this around our born days, but it's also a great time for divinations. But for myself, this is just a fun tradition I do every year. Last year, I was in the divine was in alignment. I started this during the full moon, which actually fell on Christmas Eve last year. But Omen days are also known as the 12 days of Christmas, and it can be a little bit confusing uh, depending on when you want to start this ritual, I guess. The 12 days of Christmas actually begins the day after Christmas or the day of Christmas, the 25th. But the actual 12 nights begins on the 26th of December and runs through January 6th. So it's like the in between. So the 12th night is also known as what's called Epiphany, the Feast of Epiphany. But Omen days, it's the art of divination as we move out of the old year and into the new year. So we can kind of muse. I love to muse, musing thoughts, muse about what's in store for us in this upcoming new year. You will find diviners or readers or any kind of astrologer and whatnot offering readings during this time. But really, the magical part is that we can be our own oracle by participating in Omen days. So how do we do Omen days? It's a very simple process. I just want you to keep in mind, however, it is this in-between time. To me, it's not just liminal, it's subliminal. It's otherworldly, when our ancestors, along with other worldly beings and our allies, really have access to us and for us. All we have to do is pay attention. But on December 26th, the question you hold near and dear to your heart space should be the concern for the month of January. It's like, what will the month of January bring into your life or bring to life? You could also tinker with what do you need to know about the upcoming year of January? And then on December 27th, you're going to ask what's in store for February. And then on December 28th, that would be the focus of March, and so on and so forth. And you finish until you reach January 6th, which then gives us insight into the following year of December, a year from now. So once you give space and time to your question, in the Celtic tradition, that's when we wait for a natural omen to appear. So some of them may come like an animal crossing your path, just something out of the norm, I'll say. Could be a feather, a black cat, a raccoon, a deer, a snake. It can be anything. It's something that's not in the norm. Anything that you notice that is like out of space or something for where you are on the planet is kind of what I sense. So again, it could be a feather, but you get the idea. But you also may receive a literal sign. It could even be angel numbers or coding in numbers. Like you drive to work one way and then all of a sudden out of nowhere the road's closed and you have to take a detour, something unexpected and unseen. So really taking notice of anything that's not your everyday regular kind of narrative is what I want to say. But as far as the 13 wishes, just go ahead and write down 13 wishes. These wishes that are actually in alignment and not too out of this world. It has to be something that your heart desires, but it also has to be something that is achievable, and I'll get to that. You can write down sentences. You can just write down keywords. You can do both. It's truly up to you. But either way, 13 wishes, you write them down. So before you pull a card, you're going to pull 13 wishes or put them in a jar. I traditionally, I put them in my little carrier here. And then I just close the lid. This is an old school butter dish. And then each day I'll pick a wish and then I burn it. You could also use, I have this fun little container. You could just plop them in there, pick one a day. You get the idea. So let me move those out of the way there. So yeah, scribble down, write down your 13 wishes, and then you want to place them in a jar or something that you can cover. And then each day you pick a wish, you stir them around, pick one out, burn it, and then you pull a card. And you're going to do this for 12 days. And the wish you have left in the jar is actually the wish that you're going to focus on for the entire year of 2025. So a wish may be something simple, like maybe you want a new career, maybe you're looking for a new vehicle, maybe you want to remodel something in your house. It doesn't really matter, but it has to be something that is attainable. And for me, my 13th wish that I held on to for all of 25, and I'm still focusing on because I stare at it every day, is to attract the right tribe for my business. And lo and behold, my Facebook business page went viral. So that was the wish I've been holding on to. So these work because we're focusing on our intention, but I also physically wrote it down. I visualize it, but I also speak it aloud in my mind's eye and just embody it, I guess, throughout the day and carry that tune. So it does work. I've done it myself. You could use it for relationships, really anything that really is in alignment, authentic to your own personal heart's desires. And if you don't have oracle cards, don't fret. I am going to do a double poll for myself and one for the collective. So in my musing thoughts on my website, I will post all of these messages. I am going to use my oracle deck. This is the deck I used last year. It's the Angel Tarots. Oh my goddess, and I just pulled the moon. Can't make that up. So yeah, emotions and the moon. So Angel of Dreams. So each month I'll post the oracle card, not my wish, but the oracle card that goes with the month for something to focus upon. If you do not have an oracle deck or tarot is not for you, so be sure to look for that. You can also follow along, but I'll have the link. Either you'll get it in an email. I'm sure the links and everything will be kind of everywhere across social media and all my postings. So if you have any questions around Omen days before we move forward into the elementals, just go ahead and comment. And at the end of the show, of course, we will be doing Mini-Cowry Shell Divinations live. So there is that. I'm just moving some of these cards out of my way because I'm a little full here. But yeah, I love my little butter dish. That's what I put my messages in. I'll just scuttle that right there. Okay, cool. All right, so if nobody has questions about this little ritual, it really is my very favorite. Just make sure your wishes are in heart alignment. They're your wishes, not somebody outside of you wishing upon you. That will create an entanglement. But writing them down, focusing them, visualizing them, speaking them, outside voice as well, helps it come into fruition. Bottom line. It worked for me, and I'm sure it will work for you. It's all about our heart's intention. So now on to the element of the day. We do have a new month, so I'm super excited. We have a Yang Fire Rat month. So these are the energies of the northern hemisphere if you're in the north, and the southern hemisphere if you're in the south. We've got the yin and the yang, yin water and yang fire. Yang fire is the sun. I always like to say the sun shines upon everything. Our sun sign in astrology is what we identify with, or how we use our sun, or how people see our sun sign, how we rise. So there's those energies there. But we do have a wood dragon day, the same as our year, taking us into the month of this fire rat. So this is a seasonal energy marker, if you will, before the winter solstice. This is like the great snow in the northern hemisphere. But the yin energy, that's where we're at, or the darkness, we're going inward. It's rising now. The rat is the peak of yin energy, opposing the horse, which is yang fire. So I find that fantastic. So this energy is becoming, or it's arriving, it's in full force. So it creates a sensation that we have to, it's the energy of that we have to do everything all at once. Like it's the hustle and the bustle. Could be fear of missing out, FOMO, right? So yin energy is going inward. For me, it's like soliciting our inner solitude. That's where my meditation series, Soliciting Solitude, kind of came from. Outsiding or outsourcing of the balance of being, which are natural resources we all have, but we don't generally always put them to use. But the yin energy going inward, our body wants to rest. Our spirit wants to dream. That's the fire. So creating sacred space and making time for the stillness, for the quietness. It's like the crackling snow at midnight. It's this yin energy, but it's enriching us, it's revitalizing our inner world. If you're in the southern hemisphere, then of course, this is a time for physical activity, embracing our vitality and being out in the sun, in the light. So, yang energy rules kind of the energy, the way of it. So, our month ahead, we're going to be riding the waves, the emotional water waves, the highs and the lows. That could have been why I pulled the moon as a card. But with the fire rat showing us the yin and the yang in the polarities, the yang fire, there's a lot of yang energy. Like the only yin energy really in this whole chart is the rat, the yin water, which is also in storage. So it's like something's percolating below the surface, hopefully not a tsunami. But it's the combination of the shadow and the light. So all of this exists in each of us, but also around us. And if you're wondering what I'm doing over here, is Tiger, of course, wants to join the show. But it's the shadow and the light. It's around us. So yang fire is in the heavenly frequency or the heavenly realm, along with the yang wood for our day, that frequency. And that's for the entire month ahead. So this is the energy of the sun, and the sun shines light upon everything it touches. It's the most yang manifestation or energy and manifestation within all of the 5 elements. It's our heart. It's what our heart loves. The sun, it's also who we identify as, our sun sign, our own starlight. That's kind of how I see that. The sun energy, but the rat is also the winter. It's the season of winter and water. It's the height of winter. So fire, reflecting on water, helps us to celebrate our joys, our laughter, the fun, the inspiration in the sun, our inspiritedness. Where the rat is going inward, inspiring us or teaching us, kind of being a mentor, teaching us to be comfortable in navigating these unknown waters, especially with all that yin water hidden in storage in the dragon, the 2 dragons, I'll say. But the dragons are also giving direction to the water. Wood guides water metaphysically. And also, today is the last day of the year where we have a wood dragon day in a wood dragon year. So this is amplifying the energy of our entire year and the themes we've experienced this year. And we won't have this again this year or even into next year because we're not going to have a yang wood year. And Mars is going off on holiday, stationing retrograde today. And we already have Mercury off on holiday. And I don't know about you, but I've already experienced my computer, my traveling hiccups. But this gives energy to kind of review what we've accomplished throughout the year and moving forward. So you may have found this a little bit more challenging, like forces of adversity, to keep doing all the things, all the work and moving forward. But the dragon being yang earth in sign, remember we go to the mountain to tell the mountain our secrets. It brings us the resilience. It's protecting us from the winds and all the things to keep us moving forward. And the wood energy promotes innovation, growth, expansion. It's also related to Jupiter. So we have this expanding energy. And if you think about a big, old, wise wood tree expanding above and also below the tree of life, but also the book of knowledge. So we've got these energies as we begin to both refine or re-strategize strategies, right? But there's no metal. So I always like to bring in the element that is missing. That would be metal, refinement, and strategy, yang metal. And just visualize how you can bring it up a notch or 2 in the upcoming wood snake year. So these energies are vital. So you really want to bring those in, if that sounds fantastic. And I honestly feel like it's a great day to start musing literally about your 13 wishes with all the energies just of today. Nothing set in stone. I would write down 13 wishes, make them golden, calibrate them between now and the 26th of December, unless you want to start this ritual on the Yule, winter solstice, which is also a prime directive. So I would say if you want to do the 13th wishes, you can start as soon as Yule, the winter solstice, or take it to the 26th of December. That's kind of the window or the door, the portal of opportunities. Just remember the 13th wish is the wish that you hold for the entire year of 2025. That's what you want to focus your energy on. And also know, I like to, when I burn my wishes, I burn them in another little container I have. And on that 13th day, I bury those ashes out into the earth, bringing them into the physical for their manifestation as well. Those are just things I do. You do you. These are just suggestions. It's just a fun ritual that I do every year. So with that, if anybody's ready for a divination, we'll change up the screen here. Move my little tigers. There he is. I did have my cards here, so that was that. Get little tiger over here. So yeah, if you want me to move the shells on your behalf, just remember, all you have to do is comment in the show notes of your birthday, your month and year, basically. I don't actually need the date. Those I do more for my private sessions. And yeah, Tiger wants to be part of the show. Nope, come here, buddy. He really wants to be part of the show. If he jumps up again, I'll call it a no-go. It's kind of funny. I'm watching my show on here, but I'm going to get out of this one. Okay. And we are streaming. Kind of interesting. Okay. Well, if nobody's interested or feeling vulnerable, I do these privately as well. Private cowrie shell divination. So we have that. Okay, good. Tiger is trying to get up again. You never know with cats, right? Oh, I had a feeling you were going to do that. Okay. Alrighty. Well, Tiger wants to be part of the show. He's lucky I'm kind now. See, you're protecting me from my friend. Okay. Alrighty. Well, if nobody's interested in a mini cowrie shell divination, again, all you have to do is comment in the show notes, and I will move the shells on your behalf. And I will also move Tiger out of the way. He's a funny little character. He just wants to be part of the show, don't you? It's okay. It's all right. All right. Okay, well, next week I will pull some cards for Omen days, I believe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not, actually, looking at the date. But there we have it. Okay, well, if I have nobody interested in a little mini cowrie shell, maybe you're nervous. It's all good. Pay it forward, and I'll see you on the other side. If not, I'll for sure see you next week. But let's change the camera here. Go back to me. Now that Tiger's in the way, there we go. And my affirmation I chose for this week, if you don't know, I am aligned with a source of divine love in spirit. That's just connecting with our higher self, our spirit self, also who we are in the other world beyond the fifth dimension, which seems to be a really calibrated thing. So yes, thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to check out the replay, check out Omen Days. I will have the link for that as well. And also our new month here, the Yang Fire Rat of a Day, or a month. That makes it fantastic. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you on the other side. Ashe, blessings.